Howdy, y'all. My name is C.T. Wegman, and I live in the Sunshine State, the great state of Florida. I live over on the west side, on the Gulf in Tampa Bay, actually technically in St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm loving it over here. Recently, I moved from Austin, and as part of that move, I'm trying to bring myself into a better frame of health and just overall eat better, feel better, do more, just be a better person. Now, where am I from? I'm actually from Memphis, Tennessee, so I have love for the South. I've moved around a lot, over 20 times in the last 10 or so years, whether it was from work or personal. I just like to keep my options open. So I've seen a lot of the country. I've actually lived abroad a couple times. We'll talk about those stories later. But really, I wanted to talk about why I'm here today and just give you a quick introduction about what this channel is going to be and what I plan to bring to y'all. And hopefully y'all can follow along, and maybe it helps one other person just in their journey. So let's see, why did I start this? My mother asked me this the other day. Why am I thinking about doing this? Why am I spending my time talking to a camera? And I started to think about it, and you know, it's interesting. When you look at the facts and figures, right now, over 70% of Americans are overweight, and over 40% are actually obese. And anyone who's in those categories has probably felt cast out, has felt left out, has felt abandoned. They feel like a lot of advice isn't necessarily for them, or everything you hear you have to take with a grain of salt, because it's a little bit different for you, whether it's clothing size or the portion size or whatever it is. And it's interesting when you look at financial advice from back in the 80s. It was all show and go. It was all give me $10,000 and I'll turn it into $40,000. Just quick money makers. And people started to realize, like, well, what if I don't have $10,000? Like, what if I have $0? What if I have debt? How do I get out of debt? How do I get into a better space at all? And then you have people like Dave Ramsey come along, and he introduces these snowball methods and these other financial tools and tactics to get into financial health. Not from a scam or a scheme, but to just start with baby steps. And I feel like even though YouTube and TikTok and Twitter, they're all full of all these health channels, and that's great. Some of them provide amazing content. I follow a lot of them. But at the same time, a lot of it is, it's giving you advice on how to work out. It's telling you, okay, if you wanna build muscle and burn fat, go do 20 pull-ups. People like me are sitting there like, I can't even do one pull-up, man. Like, what do I do? And it's not for lack of trying. I know they're focusing on the majority of their customers because they've got to make money. But every now and then you get a good trainer, and I've had several, and they take the time to actually pick you out and say, look, I know we're trying to do pull-ups. You can't do those. Let's do this instead. And they alter it for you. And I realized that in all this space of advice and support and whatever other space you want to talk about, there's not a lot of people who look like us giving advice on how to just be a little bit better. How to move forward in the day. Advice on, travel, clothing, food. I'm not an expert in any of them, but I do a lot of it. I travel all the time for work and pleasure. I am trying to cook more. I'm learning more recipes. I've had a lot of different trainers, so I've gotten a lot of different advice. And my goal with this channel is to try and bring that to the open and focus on the baby steps that you can take, the ones that I've spent years coming across, the stores that I've come across that actually provide support for larger humans, the certain clothing companies. I'm not sponsored by anyone, but I will talk about the brands that I love. I'll give honest reviews, so that's great. But yeah, I think as I started thinking about all that, I thought back to, there's a quote that says, before you judge a man, walk a mile in his shoes. And that could be man or woman. But before you judge a human, walk a mile in their shoes. And, it got me thinking, like, there's a lot of, there's a difference between implied and what you're saying and how you're meaning it, and then what I'm hearing and how I'm feeling it. Implied versus inferred. And I really want this channel to focus on that. I really want to, I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for, oh my gosh, I feel so sorry for you. None of that. I'm looking to hope to build empathy. I was born in the South, and I am a white Christian male, and I've had a lot of blessings, and privilege is a word that gets thrown around a lot these days. I have a lot of them. I recognize that. But at the same time, I also am a fat man. I'm an overweight, obese, whatever you want to call it. I am that. I weigh a near quarter ton, and my goal is to try and get back into the 300s. I don't want to be a bodybuilder. I don't want to be skinny, but my goal is to get back into the 300s so I can wear a 2X shirt and shop at a normal store again. And when I say normal, I mean just a store that I don't have to custom order. I don't mean to belittle anyone that has to custom order shirts like I do. So my hope is to try and allow people just a glimpse into the life of what 42% of Americans are experiencing, what 70% of Americans as they're overweight might be experiencing, whether it's shaming for being overweight, whether it's that side eye you get when you order the extra entree, whether it's the, walking down the aisle of an airplane. You want to know what the biggest horror, we'll talk more about that, but I want to shed light and try and bring everyone else to an understanding of where we are, just so we can have a better world as humans. I feel like so many problems in this world are because people are unwilling to listen. They're unwilling to try and put their feet in your shoes. So I started a channel, CT in My Shoes. Now, the way I'm going to do it, I have a multi-platform approach. Obviously, you're here on my YouTube channel. I have a Facebook page, I have an Insta, and I have a Snap, and I have a Twitter, but I mean, who uses Twitter anymore anyway? But nonetheless, my hope is that I can use each social media medium for their intended purpose. So on YouTube, I want to do videos. I want to talk. I like talking. It's fun. I'll tell vignettes. I'll tell examples, maybe some product reviews, stories where you can hear my voice, you can see my face, you can see my emotion. Facebook is where I'll be doing my text posts, where I can write links, do recommendations. I'm not going to do a website this time. I'm just going to do Facebook and use their tools. Instagram is where I'll be posting kind of the stories, the little snippets and pictures, whether it's a race that I run or walk. Right now I'm not running. And then Snapchat's just going to be something fun. So I'm going to put all the links down below. You can follow me if you want. Should be a fun space and informative space. Now let's see, expectations. I know that's a big thing. No one wants to follow a channel and then be bombarded with ads. So let's see. Number one, I will be doing some product reviews because, like I said, as a larger human, I've had to learn how to shop and where to shop and what retailers lie to you when they tell you their sizes or mislead you with their sizes. So I do plan on giving reviews on whether a product was great or whether an experience was worth it or whether it was worth it to get the extra ticket to fit in the helicopter or not. Stuff like that. I also am a very opinionated person, and sorry, you probably won't like all my opinions, but they're there. Obviously, hit the comments down there and we can chat it out. I will not stand for any kind of hatred or racism, bigotry, sexism, anything in the comments. I will block you. That's just hard and fast. That's not what this is about. I want this page to be a place of positivity and inclusion. So regardless what you are, where you are in life, or how you're feeling, you will be welcome here. I also just plan on giving my thoughts on current events, on I probably will stay away from politics because there's enough of that. But, lastly, let's talk about goals. My goals, the other month I walked, or the beginning of May, I walked the 5K, my first 5K since 2007. And so I do have some long-term goals, and I'll get into those with individual episodes. But, for instance, one of my goals, I walked the 5K, the Rotary 5K here in St. Petersburg. Next year, my goal is to run that 5K. So that's one of my goals. But other goals might be, I want to learn how to cook. I want to adapt a vegan lifestyle for one day a week and just try and see what it's like to cook vegan. I want to test out multiple food delivery kits. So I have some different goals here and there. I welcome any suggestions that you might have. You can put them down below and we can go through them and maybe integrate them into the conversation. I'm also very open to bringing in collabs or guest speakers. I know it's a virtual world these days. So if there's a topic you feel really passionate about and you want to talk through it. Obviously, I have 0 followers as of current, but I'm glad to talk and see where it goes. But all in all, I want this to be a fun space that's inviting and welcoming, where if you come in and watch an episode or follow along or follow my snap, I want you to get a glimpse into the life of what it's like. I want you to better understand what it's going through. And it reminds me of that story, the man walking down the beach with his friend, and all these starfish have been cast up on the beach, and he walks up to one and he picks it up, throws it back in the ocean. And his friend looks at him and is like, you know, you're not going to save them all. Like, why does it even matter? And he looks back at his friend and he says, you know what? It mattered to that one starfish. And that's the point of this. I'm gonna try and make people laugh. I'm gonna try and bring humor and make a fun time and try and lighten up the mood. But at the end of the day, if one person gets a positive influence from this, then it's worth it. I've been posting on my Instagram for a couple weeks now, and I've already had people tell me it's inspiring. I've already had some people reach out, tell me that they're trying to do some goals. So we're going to talk about challenges. We're going to talk about goals. Long and short, it's all that matters. One person. And even if nobody, guess what? It's just an outlet for me to talk. So thank you all for joining. Thank you all for listening to the introduction today. I'm going to try and do weekly, bi-weekly content, something like that. Try not to overload y'all. So I'm also very anti with the whole influencer lifestyle. So I do have a normal job, and this will just be kind of a side thing for fun. So welcome to my page. Hope everyone has a great night, and thank you for being here.